In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can become a resident of Portugal with the Golden Visa. For those of you that are familiar with my channel, you'll know me as Louise from Ever It Helps, where we create educational content all around cryptocurrencies. I'm from the UK and I'm currently in the process of becoming a resident of Portugal, which I'm doing via the D7 visa route. However, I know that another type of residency visa that some people like to take is the Golden Visa. So what I thought I'd do today is bring in an expert, Maria, to talk to us all about the Golden Visa. So let's jump into the interview. So Maria, we've obviously had a chat previously all about crypto taxes in Portugal. But for those of you that haven't watched before, can you just tell us a little about who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Louisa, for having me. This has
You're
been
always
so
welcome.
nice. I love it. Okay, so I'm an attorney in Portugal that do take care of immigration, property law, every kind of law, but mostly because we are talking about golden visa. Yes, we do a lot of
Yes.
golden visas.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to link all of Maria's details in the summary below. So as
Thank
I said,
you.
we're going to be talking all about the Golden Visa, which is something that I've not actually gone through myself and I don't know much about because I went through, which I know is your favorite type of visa, is
The
the D7
D7.
visa route
Yeah,
instead. But I know that the Golden Visa can give a lot of, kind of advantages and there can be disadvantages as well.
that's true.
What I thought I'd talk about is the difference between the two different visas. But what does the Golden Visa actually give you, first of all?
Okay, so the golden visa, it's actually a brilliant visa for those
Mhm.
who travel all around the world and they don't want to
Right.
be stuck in Portugal. You do know
Okay.
that with the V7, you have to spend 6 months in the
Of course.
country. The golden visa allows you to only stay 7 days in the country. Yeah, and gives you an ID card that allows you to go anywhere in Europe. It is brilliant. You get an ID card for 2 years, you renew it for another three. After those
Yes.
5 years being in Portugal with the Golden Visa, you can apply for permanent residency and you can also apply for citizenship if you have all the requirements. You do have to invest in the country. So you either
Yeah.
have 1.5 million in a bank account in Portugal for 5 years, the 5 years
Hmm.
that go through the Golden Visa,
Yeah.
or you invest in a property. You have to be aware of locations because the law changed in 2022 January. Now you can not apply in coastal areas. Of course,
Right.
there's always a way to go around it. If
Yes.
the property if the property is for services, imagine is a rental property, instead of you saying, oh,
Mhm.
it's for my own permanent residency, that doesn't work if it's
Ah,
in a coastal area. Imagine it's not, it's a services property. It can be a property dedicated to offices, it can be a property dedicated to rental. If
mhm.
that's the kind of property,
Okay.
then yes, you can apply.
Yeah.
So there's always a way to
Okay.
go around
There's
it.
always a loophole.
Always a solution. um, you can also invest in funds. You can donate
Mhm.
to the arts, to scientific research. There's a lot of
Wow.
possibilities.
Yeah, but it's
The
more like investing
complaints,
into the company, into the country. Sorry.
that's true,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
The complaints around the Golden Visa, which I had them myself, is
Yes.
that the Golden Visa oblige people to have such a huge investment, and the
Yeah.
time frame is being tremendous. It's being quite big, but we have heard now that they are trying to cut on time and make it as fast as they can. And also this year, because the law has changed and the requirements have
Yeah.
changed, they were not familiar yet and they were not accepting applications, but we have
Right.
heard from them this month that they started
Mhm.
submitting applications,
Right.
and all the golden visas from last year are taken care of, and we are
Mhm.
receiving the approval
Okay.
information.
How
It's
long
quite
is that time scale at the moment then?
well, it's been 6 months and they haven't heard anything from them because they
Wow.
did change the rules this year. And
Yes.
we've
Yeah.
been through COVID
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the
The
refugees,
SEF were on
because this is a
strike as
very
well, weren't they?
they were, and because we are a very welcoming country,
Mhm.
the situation with the refugees is quite dramatic. Portugal stepped in and said, no, anyone that wants, all the refugees that want to move to Portugal, just come and we
Yeah.
will accommodate you all. And
Yeah.
because of that, all the immigration service assets are allocated to that
Yeah.
crisis at the moment. And,
Yes.
the other
Yeah, of
visas,
course. Yeah,
yeah,
it's going to be a backlog. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
completely makes sense, doesn't it? So, is it something that's really hard to get in terms of the golden visa?
No, if you have all the
No.
documents, you have a good
Yes.
attorney helping you out.
Yes.
No, it's quite everything in
What?
Portugal is quite easy. Of course, if you come
Yeah.
to Portugal and you say, Maria, it's too bureaucratic. Well, this is what I do. For me, it's easy. But of
Yeah.
course, if you come and you want to do it in your own, it can be quite challenging. That's true.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Is an expensive visa to get?
The Golden Visa it is, but those
Mhm.
who apply for Golden Visa don't find it expensive because they are
Of course
already
not.
wealthy.
Yeah, they've already got
Yeah,
enough wealth. Yeah.
that's true.
What sort of prices are you looking at?
So when you submit your application, you pay 533 euros per person.
Okay.
When it's approved and you come to the interview to do the ID card, you pay 5,622 more or
Okay.
less. And then 2 years gone by and you need to renew
Mhm.
it for another 3 years, you pay
Yes.
2,600 and something.
So it is a lot more expensive than something like the D7 visa.
It is, but the goal for those who do the
Yeah.
Golden Visa is
Yeah.
totally different of
It's
the one
very
that does
different.
the
Yeah.
D7.
It's very different. Like you say, it's the type of people that are applying for a golden visa are
Different.
very different from someone that's doing a D7
Yes,
visa.
and what,
And
yeah,
yeah.
what they want to obtain out of the visa is also different.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what sort of documents do they need to have to get the golden visa?
Okay, so they need a criminal record, a criminal background
Yes.
check from the country they
Yeah.
are citizens from, and from the country where they spent the last year. They are going to need medical insurance in Portugal. They need a bank account in Portugal because that investment needs to come through a Portuguese bank account, otherwise, it doesn't work. So you need to prove that you send money from an outside bank account, imagine from
Right.
England,
Yeah. Yeah.
to the bank account in Portugal, to the
Okay.
investment.
So it's just tracking that
Uh,
investment. Yeah.
if you're coming with your family, you need birth certificates from your children, marriage
Hmm.
certificates from your wife. If you're
Yeah.
not married, but you've been living for
Yes.
more than 2 years, then you
Yes.
need a statement that says that. And
Yes.
we find proof. We also do a cover letter that explains why you want to do a golden visa.
Right.
And then you need the proof of your investment, if it was a donation route, the money in
Hmm.
the bank account, the buying
Yeah.
property, or the
Hmm.
funds.
And can you use crypto as your funds?
No, because you don't
Oh,
have a bank in Portugal that does the
of course.
custodian of
Sorry.
your
Sorry. Yeah.
crypto.
Because
But
yeah.
you do, you can send your crypto, cash
Yes.
out your crypto to the
Yes.
Portuguese bank account, and with those funds, invest
Yes.
towards the
Okay. Yeah.
golden visa.
That makes sense. So, what can so I know you mentioned about your family. You can bring your family along with
You
you on the
do,
golden
you
visa.
do.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
really good.
So imagine you bring your parents. We need
Yes.
your birth certificate that prove that they are your
Yes.
parents. Their criminal record. We are going to
Hmm.
need them to be
Okay.
medical insured. If it's
Yeah.
your children, we need their birth certificates that prove that you're
Hmm.
their parents. If they are less than 16 years, they don't need a criminal background check. But if they
Okay.
are
Yeah.
older than 16 years old, then they're going to need
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
also all need to be insured, medical insured.
Yes. What kind of level of medical insurance do they need?
Basic one
Just like
that
a
allows you
basic.
to, yeah, to be in the
Yeah.
country,
Okay.
to travel to the country. Yes.
Okay, that's good. And I know that we discussed a little bit around how long you need to be in Portugal for. Did you say it was 7 days that you need to be in
7 days
Portugal
per
for
year,
per
14
year? So it doesn't
days
have to
in
be
2 years.
consecutive.
It needs to be consecutive, seven
Consecutive
days
days. They just
consecutive
need to
in
spend a
one year.
week. Yeah,
A
one
week.
week out of 52.
Well, good luck in spending only 1 week in Portugal.
I
It's an
know, I
amazing
know. Can
country.
you imagine?
No, you want to stay. You want to stay.
You want to see the sights.
There you go. Enjoy the country, the weather, the
I
people,
know,
the
I know, I
food.
know.
Yes,
Oh
enjoy the
yeah, yeah,
food.
absolutely beautiful. So you don't have to buy a property specifically or just have money in the bank. It's all about the investment that you're making into the country. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, you need, if you choose the donation route, you don't have to
Yes.
buy any property or the funds. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. And I know this seems like a silly question, but a lot of people worry about this kind of thing. Do you need to speak Portuguese?
No.
Because
No,
I
you
know
don't.
that,
We do
you
often
know,
speak English and French and Spanish. We
yes,
are such in a
yeah.
welcoming country that we always find a way to speak with people. No worries.
I know that some people, because I know that in some countries, when you're going through residency and things like that, they do actually
Ah,
have tests in terms of
that's true.
can you speak the language to show your
Yeah, not
integration into the
Portugal.
country? No,
No,
Portugal.
But when you do apply for permanent residency, you know, after those 5 years, you need
Yeah,
to show basic
of
Portuguese.
course. I think that's fair enough. Like you'd
Yeah.
want to know that anyway to get by,
You want
you
to
know?
know how to say boa tarde, good afternoon, or
Yeah, yeah.
hola.
So if someone was had their golden visa, how do they go about actually renewing that?
Okay, they need to submit again the renew of the
Yes,
visa and submit all the
yes.
applications. Show that they still have the investment done because they cannot drop it for five
Right.
years.
Okay. Yeah,
They need to
that's a
prove,
really good point. Yeah. What if someone
yeah,
went and sold their investment? Would they
no,
then be like,
cannot. Then they
okay,
cannot renew it.
okay, okay, that's
They
interesting.
have to
Yeah.
prove that they maintain it, prove that they still have insurance or that they have public medical
Hmm.
care. They need to show the background from the country of birth, the
Yes.
country where they spent the last year, if not
Hmm.
Portugal. Basically the same things.
And can someone have more than one property for that
Of
amount, or does it
course,
have to be? Yes.
of course,
Yeah.
yes, yes, no doubt, yes, yes. As
Okay,
many
that's
as
good.
it comes to your the value, the amount.
So you could have several smaller properties rather than one
Yeah, you can have it's
humongous.
500,
Yeah.
500,000. You can have five of 100.
Okay, that's really good. That makes it a little bit more manageable because then people can obviously use them as rentals and things like that as
Yes,
well.
there you
If they
go.
don't have to
Exactly.
spend, they don't have to spend the entire
They
year
don't.
or
No,
6 months within the country. If they're only spending 7 days there, they might not want to have a
that's
property that's
true.
then going to remain empty for the entire
That's
time.
what I would do. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it seems like a good idea. I like the idea of it. Although, obviously D7 was, the perfect kind of solution for
It was a
me
good
for what
thing
I
for
do.
you.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So, what are the other options that people have? So, there is obviously the Golden Visa, there's the D7. Are there any other types of residency style visas?
They have the student visa, the medical visa, the working visa for someone or working on your own. They are
Wow.
also working on getting a visa for nomads, for those who work remotely.
Okay.
They also have a visa for those who just want to seek, if they find a place to work in Portugal for 6 months, they can come on and decide if you want to work in the country. Yeah, we are a welcoming country. There's
Okay.
always a
Yeah.
visa for you.
Yeah. So I think that kind of rounds up all of my questions at the moment, to be
Okay.
honest with you. But what else can you help people with?
Well, if you need a visa, if you want us to take care of that for you, of course we can do. If you're buying a property in Portugal or in Europe, we also do
Yeah,
that. We actually
fantastic.
build companies in Portugal or outside of Portugal. So anything you need regarding law and regarding the bureaucratic aspects of it, we do it.
Yes.
That's what we do.
So you need to contact Maria. And how do people get in touch with you then?
They can go to the website
Yep,
mapadvogados.com and contact us. You have our social media, you have our WhatsApp. You can call or send an
fabulous.
email. So easy. Just send an email.
So what I'll do is I'm going to put all of Maria's details, obviously, into the summary below so they can get in touch with you. And
Thank
also, if
you.
you've got anything that you want to ask any questions about, obviously, you can put those in the comments as well. And we'll be happy to answer anything else. Or if there's any other videos that you want us to cover, obviously, we can do that as well. So, Maria, thank you so much for today. Really
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much for
time. It's been a
inviting me.
pleasure as always.
Oh,
And thank you very much for your time.
thank you. This was brilliant.
All
Thank you so much. I
right.
loved
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See you
Maria.
soon.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye.